Welcome back to the Next Level Show, to our Friday weekly episode that we got going on for you guys. We're trying different formats here. As you can see, we have eliminated Quackers on the corner, and we've inserted the Next Level Show logo. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can actually see this, and Mike's actually a lot happier. I put it in his cube, so he's closer
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So,
Thank you.
and yeah, we have a lot of things going on this week. Everything feels like it's rushed at the end of the year, last 3 weeks of 2021, and before you know it, man, we're full blown. Because I know for Mike is going to be like a circus at that gym. So, and for me too, I'm picking up volume and
yeah.
steam going into the first quarter of the year. It's going to be a race. So, I'm excited for it.
I may get lucky. I'm going to try and avoid the circus because I think we're up to 18 people now on the training staff.
Wow.
So we have new people that need it more than I do. So I'm gonna maybe try and avoid some of that, or at least like cherry pick the good ones. Yeah.
So you're gonna be Santa. You're gonna just gift them some clients. Here you go, client for you, client for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. But they're gonna be like off-brand clients. Like I'm gonna take the name brands for myself. Yeah.
Well, are you guys
this
anticipating
this is
like
the perfect spot?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, are you guys anticipating the same kind of turnout or volume like when you first opened up, or did they give you projections or
no?
what to look for?
Nobody told me anything, at least. I think since it's like a brand new facility, it's tough to gauge. But you also need to think like most of the snowbirds usually kind of older people, so they may not be into the style of gym that Crunch is. We'll see. I mean,
I can see that. I can see that because we had a walk in at our gym, which is a private studio, and the lady specifically like had asked like if this is a public gym, and obviously it was like just me and with a client and the trainers as well. So that's our selling point, is the exclusivity factor. That's what has kept us going. We don't need volume to stay up. We just need a good couple paying clients. So that's our advantage there. That's my selling point, is like, oh yeah, it's like it's your own personal gym. Versus like Crunch, I would be like, if I was working there, I'd be like, look at all the equipment we got, isn't it nice?
like, oh, is this too busy? Like, don't come here at 6.
My brother's been loving it though. He's always there, man, at like after hours, typically like after 6.
I never see him. Oh, it's because it's he does come at night. Yeah,
he goes after 6 due to his work schedule, and he loves it. I have to go. Maybe I'll pop in tomorrow. I just have to work tomorrow. So lately I've been working out very consistently, but I just been working out at my gym because it's easy for me to get through my workouts a lot more efficiently, and I never have to wait.
What time are you going to be there?
Maybe around noonish, but I'm not sure yet.
Interesting.
Will you be there?
I may be free at that time.
Ooh, we can hit arms.
Just arms
and shoulders, but just arms, just limbs. We can hit an hour of limbs.
Okay, limb day.
I'll try. It just depends, because I have a client in the mid-morning, so I'm debating on staying there at my gym and working out, or maybe tell my brother if he wants to meet up at Crunch if he's free. But
so before I forget, it just popped into my brain. We're taking Oliver to go see Santa today.
Oh, okay.
And we're excited to get the obligatory screaming baby
picture
with Santa picture. Yeah, it kind of has to be. But also, I'm realizing like this is the first step along perpetuating the lie. Like I have to prepare for lying about the existence
for the trauma
of Santa. Yeah, because like that's a thing, and like I thought about it.
Well, you don't have to.
Well,
that. I mean, it's up to you, and it's up to you. And if you don't want, don't go like full Grinch and be like, it's a big lie and it's nobody. It's you could just shape it however way you want. You can be like all the parents are honorary Santas or something, or you can say like it's just more about the spirit or whatever the hell you want to do. Or you can just say it's all bullshit. Just let me just cut to the chase. Let me just tell you. It's all full of shit.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I know it's not it is up to me, but it's ultimately not, because like my parents love buying things for the grandkids from Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jen's on board with the Santa thing.
I think that the way that they
So
figure it out is if you just say like what Gabe said, like the parents are like assigned like as Santa's helpers,
we're
so we can distribute.
representatives.
Yeah, you guys are affiliate marketers for Santa, basically.
Yes, that's
It's all
exactly
one
how
big
I'll
pyramid
explain it to
scheme.
them.
It's all a pyramid scheme. Just it's an MLM
MLM.
company.
Well, I was just thinking about it because it's like, and then you got all the other kids that he's inevitably going to be going to school with, and then he's going to be the kid that ruins it for all the other kids. I don't know. It's a bigger decision than I thought it would be, but we're gonna do it anyways because fuck it.
I'll probably have fun with it, man. I
Doesn't
wouldn't
really
care. I mean, like
matter.
I came out okay being lied to and
Yeah.
deceived, so I got over it. After 20
Well,
years, it took me, but I got over it.
Hey,
I
you
think
know
what I'm
what?
gonna do. Sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I
Oh
was
well, I
gonna
was
say
gonna.
that people. Let me just go. I was gonna say that you know what? It's not such a big deal as far as in believing it. You know, because people believe in worse things, like those, like
Yeah.
fit teas, and you know,
People believe in Herbalife.
exactly. So
Zing.
there's worse things to believe in. Go ahead.
Yeah, they believe. Yeah,
Um,
people believe in waist trainers. People believe in Herbalife. People believe in these little patches that they put on their arm, but no one's really calling them out on it. So I think it's fine if we let the kids believe in Santa. It's like, slow it down. I just dissed you. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mike.
um, I don't even remember. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I think I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save like the good gifts to be from us, or maybe from me or Jen or whoever like originated the idea. So like
Damn, so you're gonna basically
eventually,
make it seem like Santa sucks and like the good ones were from the parents?
yeah,
Damn,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
flexing on
Exactly.
Santa.
Exactly.
Oh.
Like I see the future like 6 or 7 years from now. He's gonna be like, the gifts that Santa gets me kind of suck. You guys already always get me good stuff though. Like that's what I'm
You know what's
imagining in my
funny
brain.
is that when I was little, I would see the gifts and they would be, say, to Jonathan from Santa, right? And then I would see to Jonathan other ones from mom and dad, right? The thing is that I started, obviously I was very observant, so I look at the handwriting, it's so identical
Singing.
that
Wait a
I'm like
second.
Dude,
wait a minute.
both of my
How
parents
dare
have very distinct handwriting and same exact thing. It's just like
Yeah, dude.
it's
It's
right
it's
here.
it but you know what, man? Like that's the beauty about being a kid, dude. That like life is so simple, bro. You just want to when you're in school anyways, when you're in elementary, middle, whatever. Well, not middle school. Hopefully you're not still that kid, but like in elementary school for a certain extent, you're like just you look so forward to the holidays, man. Like it's such a good time. And that's the fun part. I think if I was a parent, is just like I get to make it fun for someone else. Cause for me, it's like, whatever. It's like it's Christmas. I gotta work anyways. I got bills. I mean, I wish Santa would be real and pay my utilities and shit, but
Yeah.
that'd be different. But no, you know what, it is what it is. But it's fun to make it's fun to serve others, and that's in this case is your kids. You want to make it a fun experience, good memories, and it's a good, that's where the whole saying I think of giving during the holidays is better than receiving. That's why like when someone asks me like what do you want for Christmas, like I don't really know, because realistically when I look at it, like I don't really need anything right now that's like that, and the stuff that I do want, and I just go buy it myself anyway. So it's
Yep.
I just like look at what people might want, and if I see a really cool gift or something like a cool idea, like I want to do it just to be different, get it, because it's different when someone knows already what you're gonna get them. It's like it kills the surprise versus when you genuinely get the reaction, like their eyes open up, like wow, this is actually pretty cool. That's like the type of stuff that I like to do. So
Jen wants to do she originally wanted to do only stocking stuffers this year. And I was like, I mean, that's like cool, but like, how are you gonna fit a front mount intercooler in a stalker? Because like a stocking, because like that's a pretty big box. And she's like, I don't even know what that is. But I talked her out of it because they're like, I had an idea like that where it was like she didn't tell me what to get her, and I was just like, oh, this would be a good idea. I went out and got it, and like I'm excited to give it to her because I think she'll actually. I'm not allowed to announce it because she listens to the show, so
mhm.
I know she's like, oh, he's gonna do it. No, I'm not. You're not gonna catch me. But it's fun when you like have ideas. I get that. It's cool. But yeah, I guess I don't know. we'll do the Santa thing, and maybe I could just have some fun with it and kind of put my own little spin on it, like Gabe's saying, because probably just what'll end up happening. But yeah.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's all on you, and see what you do and stuff. And it's kind of like to John's point, and just making those memories, creating these moments that you'll kind of like think of. Like I can still think of like a whole bunch of times, like within the Christmas time, specifically with like Christmas music. Like if I hear like a traditional classic Christmas music, I think of like walking down on 34th Street, Macy's, where they have all the windows and like everything is decorated with like all the Christmas theme, and just going inside and just shopping and stuff. Like that's the first thing that pops into my mind, or like the tree in Rockefeller Center. And I associated that because that's more of like a Christmas, like a atmosphere as opposed to here. Yeah. It's hard to create that other than just plain music, because it's just like any other kind of day. It's just like today, it's fucking hot today. So it's just hard to. For me,
not only hot, it's been foggy.
Dude, it's been foggy as shit. Every day. Holy hell!
I don't know what's going on. It feels like it's Halloween versus Christmas out here with the freaking fog. But any other updates before we get into today's topic?
Mike, have you watched any of the Hawkeye?
I watched the first episode of Hawkeye. Yeah. It's the first episode. I wasn't like super enthralled with it, but I'll watch it.
It gets like so much better.
Okay,
it's really good. And by like the second or third episode, it really it steps it up really quick.
I've been sucked into Arcane on Netflix, the League of Legends cartoon. It's actually really good. I was surprised. Very good story.
I just finished up Money. No, I haven't. I just finished up Money Heist, and I've been watching every week now, starting Sundays. I've been watching the new episode of Dexter New Blood, so I've been on that.
Oh yeah,
fucking love it. Love it. It's fucking good, man.
We got Witcher next week, I think,
and then the Matrix in a week and a half,
and then the Matrix. Hell yeah!
Fuck.
Oh,
it's gonna be so good.
Spider-Man.
Demon Slayer season 2.
When does Spider-Man come out? The 20 what?
Next week Friday.
Oh fuck!
Really?
I know. So I won't be available Friday. We'll probably see it Saturday. We have an event that day, or that night, so we'll see it Saturday.
It's gonna be so crazy, dude.
I still haven't even seen Eternals.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait, dude. That's what I'm looking forward to this month. Besides the holidays, the typical holiday stuff, but you guys ready to dive into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
So. The reason I was talking to Mike and I briefly mentioned it to you, Gabe, like I posted something on my Facebook the other day asking kind of like what are some like just for like me to get more content ideas, 1 and 2, just to kind of help people if needed. But I made a post on Facebook asking what are some of the struggles that you may be running into when it comes to getting results, and what are some things that you've tried that I think it was what things that you've tried that have worked or haven't worked. It was one of those questions. And I got one that I think is pretty standard every time I ask this question. And surprise, surprise, it has to do with tracking. Now, it wasn't so much the fact that they brought up tracking. It was the answer that followed up to this. That was the funny one that I genuinely said I appreciate the honesty. But I gave him a little bit of tough love too, and I called him out, like, because this is like an actual close person. This is a family member of mine, and she's doing great actually. Like overall, she's exercising now. She's doing all the things right. She's doing great, and I applauded her for that. I made sure to make an emphasis. Hey, I see you're doing fantastic, but this is the piece of the puzzle that you're missing, because you and the thing is that she called herself out on it. She's like, it's boring. And it's time consuming. But then she said, and I don't have a scale. So then I kind of was like, what? It's boring, time consuming, and you don't have a scale. So I asked her, how are you tracking and how would you know this then if you don't own a scale? So anyway, she looks like she tried this before. Yeah, right. So for anyone and I wanted to make a post, and this will kind of be a little bit more of tough love for you guys. Because I think there's like an important place to kind of like, like what we talked about last episode was about
Yeah, you should have hit it with
raising
last week's line.
I know, right? Like raise your commitment or lower your standards. And I know she's been poking around for information. And ironically enough, I will talk to her after this. She's gonna call me because she wants to just ask me some stuff. And she's like, "Why are you making an episode?" No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, it makes me think about a lot of the people that we work with, because I think many times we're running into the problem where it's like the client inherently knows there is a point that they're gonna have to do something they don't want to do. But how many times do you know people that have tried or come to you and literally have tried everything else that you can think of, and different diet plans, they work out more, they go to boot camp classes, they do a bunch of stuff, they buy supplements. But then when you ask them, like, have you just simply taken into account how much food you're having? And have you kind of deducted from that? Have you just simply been consistent with just tracking for a few weeks slash a couple months? Oh no, that's just too much. That's just too obsessive. Blah 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 blah. All the excuses. But this one I think is what reflects the grand majority. It's too boring, and for some people they look at it as time consuming. Now, I'm gonna debunk both of these things real quick for people that are using this as an excuse. If you're using this, just be ready. I'm gonna make you why this is silly. When someone said, "What?" It's like I took a deep breath.
Yeah,
All right, let's
right.
go. Let's go. You are an
Charging his attack.
adult. You are an adult, right? I'm gonna say adult, however you want to say this. You are an adult, and you're complaining about something being boring. It's the most childish type of comment that I've ever seen when it comes to your health, especially. The thing is that I'm looking at this is that when you say things like that, you're basically telling me that your body is an expendable commodity. It can be something that is just, it doesn't matter. It can be replaced like a thing, like a phone, a car. We don't have technology advanced enough to be able just to give ourselves a whole new body, a functioning organs, everything. So this is one shot that we get at this, right? And we can get away with a lot of shit when we're younger, stuff that we can't do now that we used to get away with before. And if you keep treating yourself as an expendable commodity, you're gonna pay the prices regardless of. There's no way around it. So if your only excuse is that something is boring, it's not exciting, it's not fun, and that's the reason why you're not getting yourself to that optimal place of health, where and we say optimal place, and I'm not saying six-pack abs or striated glutes. Striated muscles, sorry, striated muscles, striated glutes, abs, whatever. I just got to pop up one on my phone and stuff, but we're talking about just improving your overall health and getting to a place. Sorry, it's just I had a pop up came up on my screen, so
Of a striated glute.
Striated glute. Yeah.
yeah. It's like it was just talking about something else with someone, but yeah, man, like it comes down to like just being. I know, right?
It gets worse and worse.
It's fine. It's fine. But no, really just calling you out on that, because we're talking about optimal health here in the sense of just being in a place where your body's functioning properly, because we know this is going to contribute to your mental peace. If people that, have some type of spiritual practice, whatever the case may be, you want to embody you want to cover all these different bases that are going to let your body be running optimally, your mind being running optimally to handle life and all the other shit that life is going to throw at you. Your life is already going to have ups and downs and struggles. Prepare your body to handle these things and you will do better. We already know that the benefits of working out is not just it's past the physical. It's the lessons that you learn within that discipline. And this can be applied to different aspects of your life. So when you say something is boring, it's like a kid saying that he doesn't want to do his homework because it's boring, but we know that he needs to do his homework to advance and pass and then potentially go to the next grade. Or if you're going through college and the paper that you're doing is not exciting and super entertaining, but you're gonna do it anyways. Why are we treating the thing that actually can have a direct effect on how you feel and how you progress through your older years as if it's like, oh, it's just boring, so I'm just not gonna do it? So that's the first thing first. I want to call it out and like, this is not some, we do things in life already that are not fun. I don't wake up ecstatic every morning to go brush my teeth with a big grin on my face and I'm just like stoked. But I know if I don't brush my teeth, one, of my breath's gonna stink, and two, my teeth are gonna fucking get rotten and fall out potentially. So like these are things that like, you do things because you're an adult. You don't have to have someone tell you to do these things. You just do it because it's your responsibility to yourself. So using boring, I love the honesty. I said I love the transparency, but I said you're already doing everything so great. You're actually making the fun part is the working out aspect. Have fun doing that because you're moving your body. It makes you feel good. But take the discipline to learn this thing that you're not so good at and just take your time with it. And before you know it, the whole time consuming aspect, it won't be time consuming anymore because it'll become second nature. I literally pop my scale as a habit, boom, 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 set everything up on the plate as if I was just putting it on the counter. It's the same, it becomes the same thing. So that whole time consuming is a very temporary thing because you're not good at it. But once you understand, trust me, there's that in and of itself goes away. So that was my first two initial points. I kind of want you guys to chime in and give me you guys' thoughts because I know I'm ranting here, but I had to kind of blow some steam. And anyone listening to this, it's not a personal attack on you, but I think that this, this person was actually very honest because a lot of people you give you an excuse and they just try to give you the politically correct answer and try to make it sound just, oh, it's just this, and that. But this person flat out said with no shame, this is boring and time consuming. And like, I respect that wholeheartedly. But what do you guys think?
I mean, time consuming. Yes and no. I mean, of course, it's you need to allocate some more time of your day in order to go through the process, kind of like how you mentioned. But how much time does it really take? I mean, maybe an additional 2 to 3 minutes tops. Like if you're slow, right, John? Like when you just mentioned how you go about your stuff, how it's come second nature to you. It really isn't all that different from just plopping it down on your plate. So as far as time consuming goes, I mean, maybe just learning the skill of it or learning or getting into that habit of doing that can be time consuming because you're used to doing things a certain kind of way and just breaking off of that. And as far as boring goes, I mean, it's not boring, being, moving around and aches and pains and getting all these, getting sick and all this kind of stuff. That's not boring. I want it to be boring. I want it to be boring where just like, okay, well, everything is fine. Everything's working the way it's supposed to. Like I'm not dealing with like, pain in here or issues here or not feeling all that great. That isn't boring, but I don't want that shit. So it's like, I guess, changing the mindset, framing the whole position of what you're trying to do slightly different. And you can say, you've been doing awesome despite of taking the steps of measuring things. And sure, you don't have to in order to gain any type of success, just like how they're showing. But imagine if you add that to your routine. Imagine if you add that to your day, to your week, to your month, to your year. How much different, how much you're going to progress, how fast you're going to get to wherever it is that you want to get to. So they can, as great as a job as they're doing now, they can do even better. And I think just thinking that should excite someone or say, wow, I feel fine. I feel like I'm progressing pretty fine, but let me just speed this up a little bit by taking those extra steps, by taking those extra 2 to 3 minutes per day and seeing as to how much it'll impact my, I guess, whatever goals that they're trying to get to. That's just kind of like what I thought. Mike?
Well, I think of it and I try to explain it as a long-term investment. It's not something you're going to make gains on immediately. Well, I mean, you will see some progress made immediately, but you're also investing in this as like a long-term benefit because you're learning the value of food, and that all by itself may not be necessarily the most exciting thing to you, but being able to lose weight that you want to or build muscle that you want to and maintain those results because you have an understanding of all the mechanisms behind it, not just good workouts or just cardio. You're getting the full spectrum and you're understanding it. That's where the excitement really comes from. And then you can have the excitement of being the shape that you want or the physique that you want or whatever other goal that you have, you can have it and keep it. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty exciting. Sure, the process may not be super duper exciting and posting about it on Instagram and getting all these likes and all this extra bullshit. I mean, you just gotta put in the fucking work. I like the homework analogy because it's kind of like doing your homework. I mean, it's not obsessive to be aware of my budget and only spend the appropriate amount of money and know exactly how much needs to come out for bills and everything. That's just being a responsible adult. And this is kind of along the same adult. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Responsible adult. And then kind of following through with that concept in with your health.
No, 100%. I think that and that's the thing too. You know what's funny is when someone has that aha moment when they actually are tracking, because you can tell the clients that do or don't, right? They start plugging in, at first it's kind of like, what are all these numbers? Why do these food have the fat, carb? Wow, this actually has a lot more calories than I thought. I thought I was having a serving. I'm actually having like 5. But then once they make that click and they start plugging in and they're like, wow, I hit my first day of like calories, like, and I felt confident about it. They come to you and they're like, you know what? I didn't know I was, and it's almost like that first aha moment, that new connection, that new association with awareness with what they're doing. And that's a very powerful thing. So it actually will give you some type of satisfaction knowing, hey, I learned something new about myself, or now I get it. And now I know what I can do to go do better. And that's when you start seeing the client start to change before your eyes very much more at a consistent pace, because this is where this you cannot outrun this forever. You have to confront the boring things eventually down your fitness journey, because if you've gotten the bulk off, you've gotten a couple pounds off, you're feeling better now, you're moving, you build some type of habit with the gym, and that was maybe something very hard for you. Awesome. But if you genuinely care about those last 20 to 15, whatever, how many pounds you're trying to lose, you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to adjust something. Now, you can go about it with just kind of eyeballing your food and just eating whatever and trying to eat little of it. But we know that kind of leads to people kind of going overboard on the weekends because they don't have any structure. They don't. They're just there was an analogy that another fitness trainer, I think it was, he goes by the online coach on Instagram. I think the analogy went by like, he's like, not track. You can lose weight without tracking your food, but it's like going to go pee in the dark in the bathroom, and eventually you'll get to the toilet, but there's a lot more efficient ways by just turning on the light, and actually going the first time,
Then you'll
so
piss
instead
on
of
the
making it,
floor, then you got to clean
yeah.
it up. How much more time are you really wasting there? Oh, hell of a lot
Yeah.
more.
So I thought it was a funny analogies for all the guys out there. We know how it is when you're too tired to go into the bathroom, just like, I know where it is. Because you've turned on the light so many times, you know exactly where your toilet is. But if it's a new bathroom, dude, you're gonna be missing everywhere. You're like, you don't know where anything's at. So it's silly, but it just paints a funny visual in my head. So it kind of goes no different for people here, man. Like, it's and the thing is that also about the excitement and the happiness piece too. I don't know if we talked about this on the previous shows, but there was a study that they kind of examined people's happiness, on a threshold. They kind of let people kind of did a survey, and what they found was that we typically hover around like a 7 on that scale for the most part, regardless of where we're at, regardless of how much money we have, regardless of our employee status, like depending on things happening. And obviously they're monitoring, and they'll survey, like if something negative happened, maybe it will go down on that scale, maybe to a 4. Their mood at that moment is like a 4. Maybe they bought a new car or something very up. They got a bonus or something. That 7 went to like a 9 or even sometimes a 10. But same situation, even with the negative or the positive, eventually your body goes back. Your mood goes back to that neutral 7, like that, right? And like kind of like the upper end, but not really. The same thing with your fitness journey, guys. Like, you're gonna have moments where you're gonna be super motivated and actually excited and happy, and we can use this as an excitement scale, or like exciting, whatever you want to call it. and you're gonna have moments where you're like super like, yo, I'm happy, this is exciting, I hit a PR, my workout was killer, I'm a 10 today, I walk out feeling like a champion. There's gonna be days, dude, like your workout's gonna be like a 4. It's like, I fucking grinded through this shit, but I did it anyways, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're gonna end up being around that 7 on a consistent basis throughout your whole journey. Like there's gonna be moments where there's peaks and there's like valleys, but overall you want consistency. And that's kind of where what I was thinking the other day of when I was thinking about this topic.
Hypometer.
Hypometer, that's what it's called.
It's called now.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
Called now.
Hypometer.
We're trademarking it. Hypometer.
Yep.
On the hypometer, you're a 7 on the most times.
So on what just popped into my head on the whole time-consuming aspect of it. So I gave when you're measuring out your food, once you have a scale, when you make that investment of like what, $5, I think a scale goes under $10 for sure, right? For like a really, really nice one, I believe. Anyways, when you do that, how much time is it really taking? So let's just push it to 5 minutes. An additional 5 minutes. What's more time consuming, those additional 5 minutes or the 30, 45 hour that you're spending on that piece of cardio equipment? Because then you can be like, well, I don't really need to because now I'm controlling this. So now I'm able to be more in control of what I'm putting into my body. So I know I actually don't need to do that. Now I can scale back from that from this the piece of cardio equipment that I like to go to. I'm not saying going from like an hour on that to like nothing. You would want to scale back appropriately on it, but I believe it could be more time consuming to get on that piece of cardio equipment as opposed to tracking your calories as you should.
Yeah, I mean, I think people rely on like, let's say, a piece of cardio equipment because they're thinking about what they're doing on the piece. They're not really thinking, they're just moving kind of in a consistent rhythm. But think about if you don't have a treadmill, you have to go to the gym, you have to drive there. Traffic now in this city is ridiculous compared to what it was like a year or two ago. Your body will then adapt. So then you got to add more time to get the same benefits. And you have to keep that up on top of that versus just cutting out all the BS and then attacking that piece first of your whole fitness trajectory, your nutrition aspect of it, and doing it enough where you truly understand what a serve. Because this is another excuse that people say, like they're using serving size. They're going to do portion control. How do you understand portion control if you've never actually portioned out food with measurements? It's no different than me not understanding what an inch looks like if I've never used a tape measure before. And actually, like, people that don't know, I worked in construction for like a couple years back, 2014, 2015-ish. I was doing that till about 2016. I did it for about 3 years or so. And during that time, what I found is that my eye got better at, kind of being able to guess what a distance was, is because I was using a very specific measure and with like literally the inches and everything, with the quarter inches, 1/8, 3/8, all those little nuances, the fractions, right? And the fraction of the inches. I'm like losing my chain of thought here, but using that for so long, I was able to make better assumptions when I was, if I needed to do something a little bit faster. This is a time efficiency, like to debunk that whole time efficiency thing. Yeah, you're going to be a little slow at first because you're learning, just like anything. But then after a while, if you do it enough, you don't have to do it all the time. And you can get away with maybe one day you're not tracking everything. And maybe you're not doing it as often, maybe only for a certain amount of time. And you're like, you know what? I already know what 4 ounces roughly looks like on a plate. I know what a cup of rice looks like versus saying like, I think there's a cup of rice and it's like half the plate is like the big cup. You use the biggest cup that you have to use it for your cup of rice. You're not wrong, but not the right cup. And, it's just like little things like that, guys, that you have to go through that time to train yourself to learn. And you can hire the best trainer in the world, and have the best help, but if you don't actually do it for yourself and learn for yourself, once you don't have that coach, you're not gonna know how to defend yourself on your own when this whole fitness thing. And like we said, like this is like something you got to put in the work now, as soon as you can, wherever you're at right now. That way you can enjoy the rest of your life and other things become easier. Like, there's so many benefits that you're missing out on if you're not addressing the stuff that you do have technically the control over, which is your body, what you put in your body, how you move your body, the time that you dedicate for yourself. Like those are all for the most part controllables that you have to take hold of in your life. Because if you're wondering why other things aren't functioning and working out for you, the only thing we can do is, Gabe always says, you can only control how you act, how you respond, what you do. Like you can't control everything else that life's going to throw at you. So that's kind of my piece with that. I don't know what else is on your guys' mind regarding this.
Well, I mean, to her point, or to their point, excuse me, I don't know who it was. You can have success without measuring, without tracking, without being, that fine tuned to the details. But if you want to go further, and if you're like, how come I'm not progressing as fast as I want to, then that's when you got to say, well, am I putting all, as much effort, as much control into whatever it is that I'm doing? And if the answer is no, like to go back to this person, they're not tracking, so of course they're not going to be as in control or progressing kind of like to where they want to. So if you want to take it to that next level, you need to just exactly. You need to you need to take those extra steps, take those extra 2, 3, 5 minutes in order to weigh your food, track your food, and enter it into your phone. That way you have data to go back to. You're like, okay, wow, I had like a great day training this day. I felt amazing this day, or I felt like shit this day. Well, let me just go back to what I put inside my body. Oh, well, you know what? After I have this bagel every morning, I feel so bloated. I never really put those two and two together until I started tracking, because that was just part of my day to day. So,
Yeah.
it can lead to so many answers because you have more data to go off of, more information to base whatever it is that whatever opinion, whatever theory, whatever idea that you had, you have more data just to kind of go back to back it up, as opposed to before, it was just like saying, just going back to just pissing in the dark. I mean, I guess you'll hit something eventually, but
Yeah,
for the most part,
it's
it's just
annoying
going
to
to go on the
clean up.
floor. It's just, it's the fucking worst.
I wanted to add something before I forget, Gabe, there that you kind of reminded me of. A takeaway here for someone to like say, well, you guys are telling me this, but what are some things that you guys recommend then if I have kids or I'm on a very tight schedule? Well, I'm glad you've asked. And so basically here, like I would say like there's a couple options. I always typically I don't meal prep where I'm packing a bunch of Tupperware. I don't do that anymore. But for the people that are learning to take a load off, you just want to sit down and eat your food, heat it up, and go about your business. You're gonna cook eventually, hopefully you're doing at least that part. If you're doing that, before you start before, instead of just putting it away and then trying to take it out and serve yourself in that moment, let's say you're not, I have the luxury of being able to come home and eat lunch at home, but most of you guys are at work in a physical location. So what you guys can do, or even if you work from home now due to the whole new COVID thing, but I would say like pack some Tupperware when you're packing away the food after the big pot or whatever the pan that you're using. Pack that up, weigh it out as you're doing that, and do that for like the meals of the next day. And that way you plug it in your phone. You kind of already know that once you eat those containers, that is your calories and macros for the day. You don't have to worry about it the whole day. And you can go about your business and you save your time. You just pack it out. You just take it out, boom, put it in the microwave. You have kids, you can feed them real quick, bum, bum, bum. You already know, okay, cool. I know this plate of food has 35 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat. You don't have to think about it because it's already plugged in. Those are things those are just planning. Like it's no different than you taking out your outfit of the next day, putting on your bed. That way you don't have to worry about that in the morning. Like find ways to make your life run more efficient if time is an issue here, and just do it so you don't have to be bored and stuck on time. So these are just little solutions, some takeaways that I wanted to give you, the listener, if you're someone that feels a little bit of tact or you feel called out on this whole thing. I just want to give you guys some positive um, information here, some takeaways that you can apply to your life today. and that way you can start building some momentum going into the new year.
Yeah, you can just measure out just one time. Get a bowl, right? And you say, okay, if up to this point, this mark on this bowl or whatever, it's 4 ounces, 8 ounces, 6 ounces, whatever it is that you're gonna that you would want a serving for you for that particular item. Let's just say rice. Now, anytime you just pop that rice into the microwave to reheat it up, or for whatever, or even when you serve when you make fresh rice. All right, I'm going to get this bowl. Oh, I know that up until this line, it's X amount. And now you're always going to have that amount.
Yep.
Plus, minus, I mean, is it going to be totally accurate? Probably not, but that's okay. But it'll be much closer than what you were doing before of just eyeballing and just, instead of you thinking something is 6 ounces, but it really is 10 ounces. And when I'm saying things might, I'm sorry, just real quick. When I'm saying that it might not be so accurate, we're just talking about how maybe a tenth of an ounce or just not even less than that. So something that really won't make that much of a difference. Go ahead.
What's interesting is that I know people that will plan a dinner at their house, and maybe they've never made that recipe before. They're gonna have to measure with the spoons and the cups to maybe get certain ingredients in. You already do it in some instances when you're trying to make maybe it's desserts or maybe just a cool dish that you wanted to try that you read from a cookbook. That's a form of tracking if you're looking at, because you have to get specific measurements. If not, you're gonna fuck up the food. So it's no different. You're just applying this to your life. It's just understanding now it's also what you're consuming. How much of that are you consuming? And if you do that, guys, I cannot stress it enough. I know some coaches out there will always say oh, you can just do this and that, and always avoid it and find ways to. And you know what? Hey, if it gets you to your desired outcome, it is what it is. But the people I personally deal with have more specific goals and always want to target more fine details of their physique. So when those clients want to try to go around it, I can't allow them to, because then I'm lying to them. I can't give them proper feedback. So if you're not doing this and you ask someone to help you, tell you what to do, they can't accurately assess your current state to then maybe okay, let's move this needle this way just a bit, and you sure start seeing some progress happening in that direction. So if your coach is just telling you move more, just eat less, just move more, that's not proper feedback, guys. I mean, there's only so much time in the day to exercise, and most of you guys, that is ultra time consuming on and some. So basically, guys, you got to do the boring shit. You got to do the stuff that takes time at first, and eventually you're not going to care if it's boring or not, and it's not going to take that much time. So go through that little uncomfortable hump. It's a very temporary part of your whole fitness journey. You'll be super glad that you did, because the benefits on the other side are next level. So, Mike, anything else to add?
The roof.
Yeah, your hype meter is going to go through the roof.
Hypometer. Uncomfortable hump. That's word of the day, or phrase of the day. Phrase of the day. Uncomfortable hump. Write it down.
I love it. Anything? Any closing thoughts? Last thoughts today?
You got something, Mike?
Yes, but I need to find it. Save me.
Okay, sure. Hey, John, why couldn't the toilet paper cross the road? It got stuck in a crack.
Damn, that was good.
That happens.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, that's uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah,
it's uncomfortable hump.
It just goes straight down the toilet after that.
Yeah,
that would be an uncomfortable hump. If you rearrange the letters of mailman, what do you get?
Mailman? What?
You get an angry mailman.
The letters that he delivers. The letters he delivers.
Yeah, he delivers letters.
Rearrange.
So you'd make him angry.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see him when he's angry.
All right then. Well, is that all you guys have for us today?
Yeah, you'd probably go postal.
I love that you guys actually follow up on it. That's actually what's impressing me the most out of all these things. You guys have the joke, and you guys can instantly follow up.
Oh, hey, cheers to you guys. Here's something totally new. Talking about following up. Totally different, actually. A lot of dad jokes. Not to leave the moms out. How about your mama joke? Your mom is so dumb. It took her 9 months to make a joke.
Wow.
He's slow it down. I just dissed you.
Wow, that cuts
All right.
deep.
I feel triggered now. I'm gonna go, do boring shit and time-consuming stuff.
Time-consuming stuff. Yeah, let's go do that.
With that being said, listeners, if you guys like this type of content, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, give the video a thumbs up. Also, check us out on the audio if you're listening to this as well. You can check out all the other episodes that we have. We have more of it on the audio if you like the YouTube, but we don't have all the episodes up, that we've done in the past. It's like over 200 episodes. Go ahead and check that out on Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever Google uses, Stitch, all these other accounts that have access to the platform for the Next Level Show. We are on there. So go ahead and leave us a review on any of those platforms. It helps us. Give us some feedback. Shoot us a message on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and, do my famous, on the YouTube. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at the Next Level Show. We've been actually a little bit more active, actually allowing you to know when the episode is out. Go ahead and check my personal account at John Alva Fitness. Gabe is at Prime and Glory, and Mr. Mike is at Mike Nillis PT. And until the next one.